You're listening to The Watchers, a show where two women from opposite ends of New Jersey could jog all the way to Texas and back. It's such an odd line.
It's such a strange line.
It's so weird and specific. It reminds me a little bit of I'm Andrea.
And I'm Jodie. And we watch Steel Magnolias.
We watch Steel Magnolias. There's a really...
And I definitely couldn't jog to Texas and back.
Not from Jersey. Maybe from Jersey. From
Tennessee? No.
Louisiana.
I've got Dolly Parton on the brain already.
Yeah. But yeah, it's such a specific expression of grief.
Yeah, it's like my dad's dead. I could make an omelet this morning and he can't.
Exactly.
There's a lot of things that a dead person can't do that you can.
That's so funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's so funny.
I mean, so famously, we are doing this list of movies referenced in, whether directly or, in the video store in Yellowjackets. But this one has like a moment in Yellowjackets, because this is the Sammy Hanratty doing Sally Field or Misty doing Malin moment in the cabin as a present at Shauna's baby shower.
It's her gift at the baby shower in Digestif, the third episode, season 2.
I was there when that wonderful creature drifted into my life. And I was there when she drifted out. It was the most precious moment of my life.
And I choose a scene about a dead daughter. Are you surprised?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I can jog all the way to Texas and back, but my daughter can't.
It starts out being a joke, and by the end, they're kind of like, oh, she's pretty good.
She does a pretty good job.
She does.
I was supposed to go first. I was always supposed to go first. I don't think I can do this. I want to hit somebody until they feel as bad as I do. God, I want to hit them. I want to hit something. I want to hit it hard.
I was reading an interview with Sammy Hanratty about it, and she said she's never seen the movie. She watched she was like, I was worried I'd be too overwhelmed and intimidated if I knew the whole thing. So I watched the scene on YouTube a few times, and she was like, and I also didn't want to know it so well because it is something I'm pulling, she's supposed to be pulling from memory. But there are movies that you've seen so many times that like you could recite by heart. I don't know. Mine wouldn't be Steel Magnolias. I've got plenty.
Try not to suck any dicks on your way across the parking lot.
I was going to say.
That's my monologue. Dante and Clerks.
I could do the entirety of Empire Records for sure. I could do most of That Thing You Do. When I was a kid, I used to play Lion King, which is where I would just recite the movie Lion King from beginning to end.
Is this by yourself, Andrea?
Sometimes by myself, and sometimes I would rope my cousin into it, but he didn't know it by heart, so I would still just end up feeding him lines.
Ugh, what a waste.
I know.
That's so funny. Yeah, no, mine would mostly be, like, the first one that comes to mind in a heartbeat is Clerks. Like, I could probably do most of that, but...
I want our listeners, we usually save this for the end, but let us know what your monologue at Shauna's baby shower would have been.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Please tell us. God. I can't come up with anything other than Clerks. I feel like that's the movie I've seen the most times.
That's your answer then.
Yeah, I just wish my identity wasn't just that. Wish I had something else. But we watched Steel Magnolias.
We did watch Steel Magnolias.
So, 1989, as I mentioned before we started recording, is the year that I graduated from 8th grade. In northern Italian suburban New Jersey. So
this was like looking directly into a mirror.
It actually was.
It kind of was.
Because, as I shared with you in the chat, the graduation photo from my 8th grade graduation, most of the girls, including myself, are wearing dresses that look like they were bridesmaids in Shelby's wedding.
Just like a lot of big shoulders, satin, tulle.
Pink ruffles.
A lot of ruffles.
Like ball gowns, essentially.
Yeah. But like you're picturing it right, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, when I looked at, there's a dress in the movie where I'm like, that's pretty much what I wore to my 8th grade graduation.
I'm looking at this picture. It's a little hard to see because it was taken,
It's low
I'm
quality.
guessing, yeah. And every boy in this looks like they could be playing the flashback character from an episode of The Sopranos.
Oh my God, their suits are huge. Yeah, it's very high quality, 1989 in New Jersey. So I was 13 when this movie came out. You were not, we've established.
I saw this for the first time very young, though, because I've said it a million times, but we watched everything in my house. So,
yeah.
I hadn't seen this in, like, a conservative estimate is 25 years. Like, not since I was very little.
I probably haven't seen it in about that long as well, but when it was a thing, like, I saw it a lot. Like, I realized when I watched this that I know this movie pretty damn well. It wasn't one of those where I was like, oh yeah, I watched this by vague memory. No, I remember this movie. Like, I think that one of the reasons I was excited to go back to it is because I think this is maybe the first movie that I remember seeing that was like all women.
Yeah. Well,
that like was very female heavy, older women specifically.
Yeah.
And like female friendships and it focused on that aspect of it. It wasn't like they were accessories or the second most important in the, like, this was about a group of older women who were very, very close. And I'd never really seen that before. And it was, that had an impact on me.
Which is interesting because the backstory of this is, first of all, it's written by a man. So that's interesting that they feel they're like kind of characters, but in a way that is like charming and they still feel like real.
There's a lot of love for them in the writing.
And in terms of the men being more of the like accessories in this movie, it was written as a play. Did you look into any of so it was written first as a play pretty quickly. So
even before that, it was like a short story.
It was intended to be a short story, and as he was working on it, so his sister Susan died in '85 due to diabetes, like complications from diabetes.
Yeah, after having a child.
Yeah, and so it's really directly based on her, and started, like you said, as a short story, became a play, was first put up in '87, and then the movie '89. So really quick between her death and I wonder if maybe that's part of it, because these people do feel really kind of like alive and real and lived in, and I wonder if that's why he said he wrote it in 10 days.
Yeah.
My point in that was to say, in the play there are no men. It takes place, and you can totally feel that this movie that is about it's about the salon and it's about the women, and that's what the play was. Like one set, one location, and
it makes
women.
a ton of sense actually. Now that when I read that, I was like, oh, I can totally see that. And like, because I was 13 at the time, I certainly wasn't going to plays in New York, but it ran off Broadway at the WPA Theater. It ran for 1,100 performances, which is crazy. It was seen by Ray Stark, who is a film producer, and he optioned the rights for reportedly $350,000 plus escalation clauses. I have no idea what that means. But when he talks about this story, because he wasn't a writer, he was an actor.
Yeah. He was like, I know what a script looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's why I think it went from a story to a play, was because he was like, well, I'm an actor. I know dialogue, but I'm not really like good at story structure. But he said, he was quoted as saying, it's my sister's story. I just happened to be the one who wrote it down.
Yeah. He said like he even pulled names from real life. Like, because I was like, these names are,
Yeah, he's from the town it was filmed in, and he basically like based it directly on people in his life. There's actually a fun quote. It says, the audience, when he was talking about turning the screenplay into the movie, he said, the audience would now get to see all the events and eccentricities that in the theater the clients of Truvy's beauty spot had only discussed. My daddy, so Southern, my daddy, who Tom Skerritt would now play, really did shoot at birds in the trees. My sister's wedding did indeed have a bleeding armadillo groom's cake.
It feels so specific.
It's so specific.
Like, you can totally tell that, like he said, he just kind of wrote it down as it. And then some of the cool stuff about it, as I was reading, that I obviously didn't know as a kid, but like the women tending to Shelby in the hospital were the actual medical professionals who cared for his sister.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
And that his mother was there when they were filming it.
Yeah.
Like, he told his mom, like, I don't think you should be here. Like, this is going to be too hard, when they were filming specifically the scene of Shelby dying in the hospital. But the mother was like, no, I want to be there.
It's incredible.
Then
it was only what, maybe 4 years, maybe 3 or 4 years after her death at that point when they would be filming it. Unbelievable.
Yep. I know. He also shows up in the film as the minister at the funeral.
Yeah, he was like, I think he suggested it. Is what I read, that he was on set and was like, maybe I should do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of this really, I've always had a soft spot for this movie. Like I said, it's not one that I felt the need to go back to in my adulthood, because I felt like I got it. It's sweet. It's this little gem. I remembered it being way sadder when I was a kid. It didn't, we can get to it, but it didn't. I was expecting to spend the last 2 days weeping, and that just wasn't the case.
Yeah.
But all of this background just really gave me a different appreciation for it, because it's always felt really sincere and earnest, but a little removed from reality to me, is how I remembered it. And that is really not the case. And maybe that's just my understanding as a young person of what I thought like Southern life was like versus what it shows.
Well, it's so far from either of our experiences.
But, other than your fashion choices,
than the clothing.
But yeah,
apparently there was I wouldn't say a bidding war, but there was a more than just Ray Stark was interested in this, turning the play into a movie. But the way that he got to do this was because he offered to shoot it actually in Harling's hometown,
which is cool.
Yeah, it still brings tourism to this day. Did you see that you can still, I think, go stay at the
house? Yeah,
the Steel Magnolias B&B.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Mullen's house. Yeah, that's pretty great. I actually saw a really fun. It was a review about for gay travel, and it was what could be better than going to the Steel Magnolias B&B.
Perfect.
So good. So screenplay by Robert Harling, directed by Herb Ross. Famously not an easy experience for some of the women on set. He was referred to in a number of interviews as gruff and kind of mean to specifically Julia Roberts.
Yeah, and I think
and Dolly Parton.
And how dare you?
Exactly. He said that he told Julia Roberts and Dolly Parton both that they couldn't act, which is come on now. But then I did read that he had just lost his first wife 2 years before the film came out. And apparently
that's
Shirley MacLaine actually called him out as one of the older actresses and said that he'd been behaving badly since his wife's death, and it wasn't respectful to her or to them.
Good for her.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I mean about this movie and an ensemble cast of women being not super common at the time.
Yeah.
Especially an ensemble cast of older women that had a lot of experience in the business. It reminded me of all the stories that you hear about Melanie Linsky and how she has made a concerted effort to make the experience of the younger actors that she works with safer than hers was.
Yeah, totally.
Because apparently the older women on this set really were protective of Daryl Hannah and Julia Roberts and became real lifelong mentors. And Shirley MacLaine and Julia Roberts apparently have had a mentor-mentee relationship for a really long time.
It's very sweet.
Yeah.
I think for this one, I know we don't often do a plot recap, and I think for this movie in particular, we kind of don't need to. It's pretty straightforward. What I'm really interested mostly, I think most of this episode might just be us talking about the cast, because that's what's where the
it's what was important to me about it anyway.
It's where the stuff really is. So this cast, I mean, is
unbelievable. So I have some fun facts about our cast. So I don't think we need to go through their filmographies necessarily because it's quite insane. But like Julia Roberts. That's it. Julia Roberts.
I will say this is maybe the one place to say it and then we can leave it. That accent is tough.
Oh,
that accent she's doing is really tough. There are a lot of them aren't doing great, but Julia is really, she's trying hard, but it is.
Yeah, that is one thing. I mean, like a lot of these women are from Los Angeles and New York.
Yeah.
And are trying to do Louisiana.
Yeah, which is probably difficult.
I would guess, yes.
And I would guess because I won't try.
No, nor will I. But yeah, no, the accents are pretty rough. Julia Roberts was not famous yet, really. Mm-hmm. I mean, she had done Mystic Pizza, which is a movie I actually really love.
We're going to have to at some point.
I know, I love Mystic Pizza. But that was her main role before this that she was known for. So she was still relatively unknown in Julia Roberts standards. Mm-hmm. Daryl Hannah had already done Splash in '84 and had become a pretty big star. And it was kind of like, I think it was hard for the casting people to imagine her because of her role in Splash.
Right.
In this role where she's sort of supposed to be this mousy, like nervous.
They really had to, I feel like, do it up for the movie to kind of pull you out of who Daryl Hannah is.
They made her hair like the dullest dirty blonde you could possibly imagine.
They really try to make her,
One of the fun facts I found out about Daryl Hannah that reminds me how toxic the 90s were is that she made McCall's 10 Best Female Bodies in America list in 1984, which is the list we had.
Really cool.
In a magazine for women.
Jesus Christ.
10 Best Female Bodies.
Yep.
Not hottest women.
Nope. Doesn't matter who gives a shit about the neck up.
Female bodies. Yeah.
Well, congrats, Daryl. Good for you.
Seriously. But in contrast to that, I don't know how many of the fun facts on IMDb you dove into for these women. This was my morning, and it was delightful. On 2 occasions, Daryl Hannah has run after and captured muggers in New York City. Oh. She says that both men's faces displayed mixed emotions when they realized she was sitting on their chests holding them for police.
Hilarious.
Obsessed.
That's great.
She's also a lifelong environmental activist, advocates for like biodiesel fuels. She was forcibly, this is such a good sentence, she was forcibly removed from a walnut tree on a South Central Los Angeles community farm where she stayed for 23 days to protest the sale of the farm to developers. 40 other protesters were arrested at the same time, including Joan Baez.
Awesome. That rules.
Yeah. The more I read about each of these women, the more I was like, what I would have given to be a fly on the wall on this set. Yeah. Just to hang out with like Shirley MacLaine, Olympia Dukakis, Daryl Hannah, Dolly Parton.
And that's what it sounds like that they were kind of hanging out because they all, just like Dawson's Creek in North Carolina, they all lived there. They were all hanging out in Louisiana together. And it, so much so that this is where the inspiration for Soap Dish came from.
Yeah.
Sally Field said, she was like, I want to play a bitch in nice clothes, I think was so much. She may have said nasty woman, but I think she said bitch. I don't have the exact quote in front of me.
The quote is, for once I'd like to play a bitch that gets to wear nice clothes. She said she always played really noble, earnest women that wear crummy clothes.
I love Sally Field so much.
I know.
What a treasure. I love everybody in this movie, but just like, man, I think Sally Field's so good.
Yeah. Apparently this came about during a conversation. They like had run out of things to do because there was nothing to do at night in this town. And they had like, played games like Pictionary and charades and all of that. And then eventually Harling had asked each actress to name the role they'd most like to play. And that's how that came about. But Shirley MacLaine said she'd never portrayed an alcoholic, which she did in Postcards from the Edge right after. Julia Roberts, being a young actor, said she still just wanted to work.
Well, she does Pretty Woman the next year.
Yeah,
and
she did okay.
Yeah. You know, I know she's America's sweetheart and always has been and was in that movie and all of that. But I didn't realize how close Hook was. In my head, Hook was like sort of like I don't know what the word is, but like a kind of stunt casting to get the biggest star in the world. But it's only like 3 years out from this. Hook is 91. 2 years out. I think Hook is 91.
Yeah.
Hook might be a little later.
This was a big, like, stretch of 3 to 5 years for the careers of, like, some of our biggest actors.
Yeah.
Daryl Hannah also, when talking about that, the vibe of all of them hanging out together, said that, like, in previous experiences, that there was much more competitiveness among the women that she worked with. And she said that many competitive and vicious women she worked with on films wanted me to basically die until Steel Magnolias.
Name them.
I know, right? She said it was really wonderful to have these women be so supportive and encouraging. I had never experienced that before.
That's really sweet.
Yeah. It really, you can kind of feel it, especially among the older women. Like, there's a bond that you can kind of feel, and there's also the protectiveness that we mentioned with Julia Roberts and Daryl Hannah as characters. Like, you can feel that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The other folks that I think I want to talk a little bit about in this film, we'll do Shirley MacLaine briefly. Insanely long history, not something that we could, like, really summarize here. So I just pulled some fun facts again. So Shirley MacLaine, like, insanely long career. We don't need to kind of recap that. But when you have actors and artists with that many credits and that long of a history, I find it funnier just to find fun quotes from them. And so one of them that she said was, "Some people think I look like a sweet potato." She also said she had a video made of her recent knee operation, and the doctor said it was the best movie that she ever starred in.
Great.
And apparently when she was on Letterman, he said something that offended her, and she said to him, "Cher was right, you are an asshole." So, like,
because it's not, these are like,
as we established last week, there's nothing that I like more in this phase of my life currently than an older woman who gives no fucks.
That is,
like, it's my sweet spot.
Yeah, Ouiser is just, Ouiser and Clary together are I love them so much.
I cannot. Ouiser with her drooling gigantic dog.
Oh my god. When she says, "I'm not mean, I've just been in a really bad mood for 40 years. I was like, I feel that.
So many of the best lines are Ouiser's lines.
Yeah. I was looking online last night for an I Slapped Ouiser Boudreaux shirt, and they do exist.
They do?
Yeah,
oh my god, I have to get one of those.
Me too.
Yeah. Oh
so
my god.
Funny. Oh, would you hit this?
Yeah.
In the middle of
this.
She's perfect. Clary's perfect. Ouiser's perfect. That's all.
So Ouiser, I loved her when I saw this movie when I was younger, but just like last week with Harold and Maude, like, I appreciate these older women so much more now as examples. There's a Southern Living article that's like the 25 best quotes, whatever, from Steel Magnolias. And literally one of them is Ouiser on space. And the quote is just, leave me alone. I love her. Don't try to get on my good side. I no longer have one.
I no longer have one. There is, like, this episode could just be us saying good lines from this movie.
There's so many.
Because it just feels like quip after quip tied together, then something sad happens. And I also didn't remember Shelby dying so early in the movie. In my head, it was like the last thing that happens, but there's still quite a bit of movie after, because it's so, like, obviously it's about her, but it's really about these women coming together around her death. And that's another thing I think, as being an older person watching it, as a younger person, I didn't catch that as much.
A younger person, like when I was 13 years old watching this, I was like, I want to be the bride in the giant dress with so
Blush.
funny how little I knew myself. But yes, blush and bashful is my wedding colors. It's the absolute antithesis of who I am as an adult. But it was, that was what we were told to want. And I was on board. Yeah. Ouiser, the absolute best. And apparently Shirley MacLaine, still alive at 91 years old, by the way.
Yeah.
And did an interview that I watched from last year where she was flirting with the 40-year-old man interviewing her. So
good for her.
Good for her. I want to save Dolly. Let's talk Sally Field.
Yeah.
Few little things about Sally Field. Again, insanely long career. My biggest interest in Sally Field is the run between 1988 and 94, where in 88 she plays Tom Hanks's love interest in Punchline, and then plays his mother in Forrest Gump. She was 10 years older than Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Well, they kind of, they age her up.
I don't care. She played his love interest 6 years before that.
Yeah.
Man. Women can't be anything in between an old hag or someone to fuck.
Yep.
But weirdly, I know her mostly, other than those two movies, I know her mostly as the sort of matriarch of a really soapy show called Brothers and Sisters that was on in the mid-aughts. It was it was one of those parenthood type, it was a big ensemble cast, family drama, very sort of nighttime soap opera,
right,
one of those. They all live in big houses in what appears to be maybe Northern California.
Perfect.
Very wealthy, big kitchens, that kind of thing. But she was good in it. She got an Emmy for her role in that.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, famously, Gidget.
Of course.
And The Flying Nun.
Of course.
What a wild career.
Yeah, I'm looking now. She's done a little bit of everything, huh?
Yeah, she really has. And of course, her famous Oscars speech that's been parodied over and over and over again.
I do like her, though.
I do too. And
I really like her.
Watching her in this movie, there's a reason that scene is so well known and why it shows up in shows like Yellowjackets all these years later, because she is heartbreaking in that section.
I have something really important to say.
Okay. Tell me.
In 1 year, I know you mentioned Forrest Gump, of course, but just for things that, Andrea Core, she is, most importantly, the voice of Sassy, the cat in Homeward Bound, which that movie is just...
I can see the VHS box in my head. It was rented incessantly from the video store I worked at.
That's right. It's by me.
Yeah.
She's home. Then she is in Mrs. Doubtfire, Miranda Hillard, obviously, the whole time. She's perfectly buttoned up there. And then Forrest Gump all within a year.
That's crazy.
What are we doing? She's just,
Yeah.
So.
Other folks that I would like to just touch on, Olympia Dukakis. As I mentioned last week, I got the timing a little bit wrong, but I was correct about her Jersey. It's the only Jersey connection I think that I found. But Olympia Dukakis, not from Jersey, born in Lowell, Mass, definitely a hardcore New Yorker. But in the 70s to the 90s, so 71 to 1990, she started a theater company in Montclair. Cool. With her husband,
that rules.
Who is also an actor. And that is the acting school that my mom and I both went to. I took one class and hated it and never went back. My mom introduced me to Olympia Dukakis at some point at a show of hers at the theater. Because she like noticed the end date of that theater company, 1990, the year after this movie came out. Like she had also done Moonstruck, but like this was her transition period from theater. She had been a theater actor forever and like really well-respected theater actor. And this was her transition into film and TV roles. And so that theater company kind of folded in 90. But when I was probably 12, 13, something like that, my mom would drive me to Montclair and she would take acting classes and I would hang out, or she made me take one and then I never did it again because not my vibe. But she's also, this is what I mean when I say I wish I was on this set. One of my favorite quotes that I found of her, she's an advocate for women's rights and environmental causes, like pretty much everyone else in this movie, it seems like. She says, "Sometimes I feel as if 4,000 years of silencing women, of the fear of women who were burned in oil or eviscerated in front of their daughters, is imprinted deep within me and has altered my DNA."
Man, that's
Jesus.
Cool as hell.
She is cool as hell. She really is. I also really loved her in Moonstruck as Cher's mom.
I think that was one I suggested on our list early on. I don't think it's referenced in Yellowjackets.
I know. I want to go back and see if we're wrong, because I would love to watch Moonstruck. I haven't seen it in forever, but I really loved that movie. So yeah, my personal connection to Olympia Dukakis is that she was nice to my mom.
That's so nice.
Yeah. Also, her Oscar was stolen from her kitchen in 1989. The burglar only left the nameplate. So they took the Oscar, but left like her name. They took the plate off of it.
That's so funny that they took the time to do that.
I know.
Fascinating.
So yeah, seems like a cool lady. Another cool lady, Miss Dolly Parton.
I've always loved her. Boy, is she... she just shines. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but she is like this little... I just want to, like, she's just
the
perfect.
idea that this
in
director
movie.
would tell her she can't act.
I know, she's perfect. She's so good in this.
So good. She's like, I remember specifically as soon as it's the first scene with her and her husband happened. I remember even at like 13 years old when I first saw this movie being so touched by their relationship and her like trying to reach him and get him to appreciate her and how he comes around in the end. And like, there's just such a sweetness in her character that is so fun paired with the way that she looks. And that's always been Dolly Parton's thing, is that she's just a sweet person that is like, you know, does good for the world without a lot of credit and looks like she looks. So most people probably know all of these things, but she has a charity for childhood literacy called Imagination Library that has donated, I think at last count, 287 something million books.
It's crazy.
To children.
It's really impressive.
She says, if I'm remembered 100 years from now, I hope it will be for my looks and not for my looks, but for books. So it's, yeah. She also famously, I don't know if you remember hearing this during COVID. Do you remember this Dolly Parton fact?
I'm not sure.
She donated $1 million to Vanderbilt University's efforts to find the vaccine. And so the Moderna vaccine that I got, this is my Dolly Parton connection,
That's right.
was the earliest research, the first stages were funded by her donation.
She's so cool. And
she's so cool.
And you can tell she does it because it's the good and practical thing to do.
Yeah.
She's like, these are ways that I can help in really practical, direct ways. She's not doing it. It's so clear that she's not doing it for the credit.
And she doesn't seem to really care that much about money or fame. Like, she was married to the same man they got married in 66? And he died this year.
It's crazy.
They were married the whole time. So like 58 years, something. I can't do math. A lot of years, more than 50 years. And he was like an asphalt paver or something. Like literally just like loyal, devoted, beautiful human.
Something you and I have in common with Carmi is that we are afraid of math and math is afraid of us, because I was trying to get there with...
I tried that math before we started recording and I hadn't gotten it.
the difference between 66 and 25 is
not something I can do.
But I think
it's 59, right? It's 59. It is, because 75 to 25 is 50.
This is how I have to do the math too.
Yeah.
There's no...
Yeah. And then 9 before that is... Right, because 10 would be 60. Yeah.
Right. Correct.
We got it. We will never be starting a math podcast. A few other fun Dolly facts. She was a candidate to host Family Feud before Louis Anderson was hired.
She would have been so
I'm so
good.
angry we were robbed of that.
I know.
She would be so great. Apparently, the reason that she kind of quit acting and went back to just music and charities is because when she was filming the movie Straight Talk in 92, she just had a miserable time.
Aw.
And just decided she wasn't going to do it anymore. And so she only did like television things and appearances as herself, which is a huge bummer.
Yeah, because she is great.
And I have a fact about Dolly Parton that if you don't know it, I'm going to make your day. Is it
about her tattoos?
No, it's not.
Oh.
If you don't know this, I'm going to be so happy. She's not credited by name. She was one of the executive producers of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
I did know that.
Okay.
Yeah, I did know that.
Through her production partnership.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on.
So the two funnest facts about Dolly, that and that she reportedly is always wearing long sleeves and high collars because she's covered in tattoos. Which is
I want
cool
that to
as
be
hell.
true.
And that's just not part of her like
I want that to be
visual
true so
brand.
badly.
Yeah.
She's got amazing quips in her daily life as well, which is why I think it makes so much sense that her character has all these great lines. Mm-hmm. She said, "I like to buy clothes that are 2 sizes too small and then take them in a little." She also said, after Mama gave birth to 12 of us kids, we put her up on a pedestal. It was mostly to keep Daddy away from her.
She's a comedian.
She's so fucking funny. Like, oh, God. We should probably do 9 to 5 at some point, too.
I would love to do 9 to 5.
Yeah. Really, really good. Do we have any other Dolly facts that we want to mention before we move on?
I mean, for me, she's Miley Cyrus's godmother, and I love Miley. I love anytime we get to see the two of them sing together. It like
that Rainbow Land, the duet that they have is really beautiful. That was on like constant rotation for me for a while, that song.
Yeah, their voices are perfect together.
Oh, it's so beautiful. If you haven't, like, side recommendation, if you haven't heard that duet, Rainbow Land, with the two of them, please go listen to it. It's incredible.
Also, if you're someone who's written Miley off because of her younger past indiscretions, she has an incredible voice. Like
her doing any like old country.
Oh my
God.
Her
version of Jolene is beautiful.
Is beautiful.
Yeah.
She also does a cover of Look What They Done to My Song that is just like, that's one of my favorite songs. Her cover of it is maybe my favorite version. It's live and it is outstanding.
You can like feel the like country DNA in her voice when she gets into like Dolly Parton or any of those other classic country female vocalists. Also, she was just like one of my parents' 3 favorite musical artists. And so
Miley Cyrus?
No, I'm sorry, Dolly Parton. Yeah, can you imagine?
Wow.
Just hanging out with my parents born in 34 and 39 listening to Miley
Wrecking
Cyrus.
Ball.
Yeah. No, there were 4 records on repeat in my house growing up, and they were Dolly Parton, I can't remember which albums, but Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers, Johnny Cash, and Anne Murray. Those were my parents' 4 favorite records that were played nonstop.
Pretty good ones.
Yeah, so I grew up on those. I don't remember any Anne Murray songs, but I remember very clearly growing up on Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton and Johnny Cash, which, not too bad. Could be a lot worse.
Yeah, really.
Any other cast things we want to talk about? We haven't brought up any of the men.
Who cares? I
Yeah.
mean, we talked about Tom Skerritt last week.
Sam Shepard.
They're fine. Everybody's fine. Dylan McDermott. Is it Dylan McDermott or Dylan Mulroney? It's still McDermott.
Dylan McDermott, who is basically a pretty blank slate in this movie with a weird accent.
I really love how they they're like, yeah, okay, it's a feature-length movie. We got to have the guys in it, whatever. But they're not really doing a whole lot, and they're just kind of clowns, most of them. Like,
yeah, he actually, okay, he was born in Connecticut, which should make me not like him, but you know, there's some association of like geographic closeness that makes me feel like a little warm towards him for that. Yeah. He's fine. And
I was trying to decide how mean to be about Connecticut right now. That's why I didn't give you much to that.
Yeah, no,
I was
get
like,
it.
I'll just leave Connecticut alone.
His stepmother is Eve Ensler.
Well, I don't know if I knew that.
Wild. But yeah, for the most part, the men in this movie are oh, wait! Okay, I got another Jersey connection. Bill McCutcheon, who plays Ouiser's love interest at the end, which is, to me, not canon because she's clearly gay. He died in Ridgewood. He died in Ridgewood, New Jersey. So he must have lived in Jersey towards the end of his life.
Oh, I kind of hope he... I was going to say it would be really funny if he just was passing through. Yeah, apparently he lived in Mawa.
Nice. Oh.
Yeah, okay.
I wonder if my mom knew him. Well, my mom...
I know, but that's such a...
My mom lived in Ridgewood and Mawa.
Uh-huh.
They're not big places. Everyone knows everyone in those places. So I'm just saying, it's possible.
So funny.
Also, the way that people are described on IMDb is crazy. In the trivia section for him, for Bill McCutcheon, the first trivia is round-faced American character actor, the son of a train conductor.
Hilarious.
Okay. But then when you look at Tom Skerritt, his intro is lean, ruggedly handsome leading man and supporting actor whose outdoor looks have improved with age.
What thirsty Skerritt fan wrote that description?
And what woman would ever be described as improving with age?
Right. Good point.
Wild. Tom Skerritt, famously the cop in Harold and Maude.
Famously,
which we watched last week. Man. Yeah, we don't really need to talk about the rest of them.
Ouiser and Clary are in love, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Scene of the two of them on the bench.
I know.
Is so cute. Where they're like pretending to like
I love you more
push
than
each
luggage.
other. I love you more than my luggage.
My luggage. Yeah.
Oh, what a line.
It's so good. Oh, Clary has one of the more famous lines from this movie, which is the only thing that separates us from the animals is our ability to accessorize. Also, if you can't say anything nice about anybody, come sit by me.
Yeah, I think that's her I was reading, I didn't know this, but she's quoting somebody else. Apparently they kind of like pulled that from someone else, but it's still
I don't care, it's her.
It's a fun line.
To me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically our core cast. Alt casting? Did you see some of this?
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff there.
Yeah. Shelby, in particular, originally Winona Ryder was considered for her, which would be wildly different.
Yeah, and they said it's similar to our Romeo and Juliet Natalie Portman issue where she just looked too young, which I could see. That is a very different... Shelby is, because it's Julie Roberts, is so fresh-faced and like...
Yeah.
Bright. And I obviously love Winona Ryder, but it is just a different vibe.
Totally different. Yeah, and it was going to be Meg Ryan.
Right.
Who had actually committed to it.
Yeah, which is more, you're getting closer to who Shelby should be.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the only, like you said in the beginning, the only ding that I have for Julia Roberts is the accent in this. Like, if they had someone with an actual Southern accent, that might have helped. Mm-hmm. But she's great. I remember especially feeling like, because before this was Mystic Pizza, where she was this like beautiful young ingenue. And in this movie, wears one of the worst wigs I've ever seen.
It's so fun, though. You mean the little one, the short one?
Short wig, yes.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yeah. She goes from this like glorious young, beautiful woman to all of these scenes where she's like actually made, like when she's having these low blood sugar attacks and things like that. Like I guess it's not groundbreaking for a beautiful actress to look like quote unquote ugly in a movie. But at the time, I remember being like, wow. Like,
Right. How brave.
what a serious actor. Like, she put on a really bad short wig.
We haven't had a, like, not consequential.
Significant haircut?
A significant haircut in quite a while that I can remember.
Yeah.
That one counts.
It definitely counts. It's extremely significant because we don't know at first that it's like the beginning of the end,
Right.
essentially.
It's signifying. Yeah.
When they did get to Julia Roberts after Winona Ryder and Meg Ryan, it was pretty clear, I think, to everyone that she was the right person.
Yeah.
Apparently, Robert Harling said that, like, once they brought her in, it was magic. She just walked in and he was like, that's my sister.
That's really sweet.
Yeah. So the other casting thing I saw was just that because the play had gotten kind of big, a lot of older actresses
it was
were like trying to get into this movie, but like big time. And it kind of shows how few roles there were that were this juicy and fun.
That's
for
a good
older
point.
women.
Yeah, that they were all kind of flocking to it. Yeah. Elizabeth Taylor, I think, was the big one that I read, but there were a bunch.
Betty Davis.
Yeah.
Katharine Hepburn. Apparently, Betty Davis called him and tried to get cast as Ouiser, and then also was pushing Katharine Hepburn as Clary and Elizabeth Taylor as Malin. And, like, those are three of the biggest names of women in Hollywood ever. And they were like, please, for the love of God, give me a role that is, like, halfway interesting.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah. That's all I had for alt casting. I don't know if you had anything else.
Not alt casting, but we have to talk about Margot Martindale as Truvy.
Well, because it was written for her.
Yeah,
right?
She originated the role.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the play also, like, so she originated it on stage. And then there were other famous actors that kind of went through the stage production as well. Nicole Kidman was...
in Australia.
In Australia, yeah. She played Shelby.
But I think Margot Martindale is the most interesting one because Margot Martindale is such a character actor and she has such a vibe, and you can totally see who Truvy would be as Margot, and it's different. There's no way it's...
Well, there's no other person like Dolly Parton that, you can compare to that for that role.
Yeah, and I love Margot Martindale, but she's got a little more bite, and it is so fun that Truvy is this, like, such a sweet little, like, Southern, like, I don't know, but then saying
she's
some
like
of the funniest.
Caretaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I love Margot Martindale. We know her we've covered her for a few things, but she's been in a few things we've talked about. One thing that we haven't talked about that she's in and is a huge part of. I mean, we've talked about it. We haven't covered it.
You're looking at me like I should know what you're talking about, and you're forgetting the way my brain works.
The Watcher.
Oh, my God. That's right. Oh, my God. We're never going to talk about that TV show ever. That is a bit I will stick to. Because
how many patrons on our Patreon?
Way over 1 million.
Okay.
To watch that Beige Nightmare again, I might need to be paid a lot of money. To look at that pottery exhibition, I don't know if I can do it again. It might break me.
Is it Dermot Mulroney or Dylan McDermott in that? Oh, not.
Who cares?
I don't think it's either of them. Are either of them in it?
I don't remember.
In my head, one of them is.
I have blocked it out. The only things I remember is Margot Martindale and Jennifer Coolidge and a lot of beige pottery.
There it is. Richard Kind, love of my life.
That's
Richard
right.
Kind.
That's right.
The cast is incredible. That show should be good.
It should.
One little note about Margot Martindale: she is apparently the lead of a show called that started last year called The Sticky.
Never heard of it.
Neither have I. When maple syrup farmer Ruth Landry finds her livelihood under attack by greedy competitors who were once her friends, she concocts a scheme to exact revenge and shake up the industry. It is apparently based on a true story. And
the maple syrup industry?
Yeah.
I need to watch this.
I was just going to say I'm 100%.
The Sticky. Oh, it was canceled.
Oh, bummer. I still want to watch it.
It's only one season. It's a Canadian show, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That cover poster of her pouring maple syrup on a pile of money is incredible.
It made me immediately want to watch it.
That's great. Maybe I will watch that.
Yeah.
I need something new. Okay. I think that covers casting. Obviously, we don't need to go over the plot of this movie. If you don't know, we should have. Yeah, we should have if we were going to.
Yeah, and
yeah, go read the Wikipedia synopsis if you haven't seen this movie.
It's so straightforward, honestly.
Yeah. Yep. So maybe we should talk about the reception of this movie, which was more mixed than I remember. Once again, this is a movie that I thought was like #1 at the box office forever. It was not.
No.
It got mixed reviews.
Yeah. Should we start with
our friend Roger Ebert?
Uh-huh.
He was on board with this movie for the most part. He gave it 3 out of 4 stars.
Mm-hmm. He says there's the thing he says is, and he's to me he's right. In the end, the principal pleasure of the movie is in the ensemble work of the actresses as they trade one-liners and zingers and stick together and dish the dirt. Steel Magnolias is willing to sacrifice its overall impact for individual moments of humor, and while that leaves us without much to take home, you've got to hand it to them, the moment's work.
Yeah.
That feels fair to me.
Yeah. He also, for all of our comments on the times, he has kind of missed the point. I think kind of got it in this case. He said, the men do not amount to much in this movie. Tom Skerritt, as the father of the bride, spends much of his time trying to chase pigeons from his trees and the rest of his time grinning benevolently, which is true.
So funny.
Sam Shepard, as Parton's husband, lays abed in depression many days, then gets a job on an offshore oil rig that keeps him away. Dylan McDermott, the groom, is a pleasant non-entity, which is so perfect of a description, who gets upstaged or lost track of entirely at the key events in his life.
Yeah.
And then there's the hapless Kevin J. O'Connor, whose seduction of Shirley MacLaine has progressed to the point where she will actually wink at him in church. So
he describes Dolly as one of the sunniest and most natural of actresses, which is exactly right.
Exactly right.
I don't want to celebrate Ebert too much, though, because boy, does he, when he fucks it up, he fucks it up. This line made me want to like punch him in the mouth. I doubt if any 6 real women could be funny and sarcastic so consistently. Yeah. But I love the way these women talk. Get out
Fuck
of here,
off, dude.
Get
you
out
clearly
of here.
don't have the personality that groups of fun women want to be around.
Right, to encourage 6 women to be funny around you.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
gross. There was some criticism of the portrayal of the South in this movie. It does kind of feel like it's out of time. Like, even in 89, I feel like it felt like it was referring back to an earlier time. And I'm not sure, like...
Other than the hair.
Yes, other than the hair. The higher the hair, the closer to God. But
yeah, that's right.
Which weirdly was a motto in New Jersey as well. But...
It's a line I learned from a drag queen. The South Jersey drag queens.
Dolly Parton.
Yeah, there's a lot.
One big lovely soup.
That's right.
It grossed a total worldwide of 96 million, approximately, and then another 40 million when it was released on VHS, which isn't anything to sneeze at, but it's just not the huge, enormous hit that it was in my brain and in my head in life. It was the 14th highest grossing film in 89, which is sort of like good. It's fine. Not excellent. Yeah.
Right. It didn't tank anybody's career because they were attached to it.
On the contrary, like Julia Roberts got an Oscar for her Best Supporting Actress performance, and Sally Field was nominated.
Aggressively white. Is this where we mention that?
Aggressively, yeah. I think I mentioned this last week when we were talking about doing this movie because I had already watched it, but the only people of color in this movie are the help.
That's one of the things that makes it feel pretty, in my head as somebody who grew up in Jersey, like, especially out of time, like, and not a very positive reflection on the South at the time.
I did notice there is one token black couple at the reception dancing on the dance floor. And I was like, where'd they come from? Like, it's so jarring because there just aren't any characters in this movie that are black. They're so in the background.
Yeah.
Or anything else for that matter. Everybody is white. But most of the movies that are the big hits from this time period, that is not unusual.
Yeah, that's something we've had to contend with a lot of the movies we've covered. So,
although I say that, and like there were some really huge hits that were black movies, but they weren't at the same financial level of success necessarily.
Yeah, they weren't supported in the same way.
Yeah. There's a really great I keep interrupting myself, but researching this movie took me to sources that I have never used before for our podcast, including Southern Living and Garden and Gun.
Garden and Gun, yeah. I was like excited.
More than one article on Garden and Gun.
Yeah.
But there was a article recently from Southern Living on the 30th anniversary of the film that talked about the period right after this movie came out, specifically for Robert Harling. They had a real premiere in London for Charles and Diana. They opened the Berlin Film Festival when the wall was coming down. At the festival's opening night, they arranged another screening in East Berlin. It was the first time a Western film with paid admission was shown in East Germany since the wall had gone up.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he said the line of East Berliners waiting to buy tickets stretched as far as I could see. It was incredibly moving to sit and watch the film with them. It had been dubbed into German, and the audience had no idea who any of the actors were except Dolly, but they laughed in all the places American audience had, and they cried. It blew me away. After decades of Iron Curtain and communist government, their first glimpse of a Western movie was about life in a Southern town. That was truly heady stuff.
Fascinating.
Right? East Berlin.
Yeah.
In 1989, right after the wall comes down.
That's cool.
They watched Steel Magnolias.
I love that.
I know, it's wild. It's really wild. Also, apparently, people have reached out to Harling saying that it has inspired them to donate their kidney to someone in need.
That's really sweet.
Is beautiful.
If you're interested in kidney donation, just to promote another podcast, Beautiful Anonymous, last year we had a really cool conversation with a listener who did I think they call it paired kidney donation, where instead of a 1-to-1, it it works kind of like, in my head, like a chain letter. Like, it
my
matches
friend Amanda
up.
did it.
Yeah, this person like kicked off a chain of like 17 people or something like that. Also, her kidney is in our zine that we put together. So
not the actual kidney, a photo of the kidney.
A photo of it. But if you're interested in seeing a picture of somebody's kidney, you can pick up a copy of our zine as well. So. It
might have been on New Jersey's World, I mentioned this, or to you in relationship to Beautiful Anonymous, but the people that are responsible for that program of the daisy chain or whatever of donations are two people that I knew from swing dancing in the early 2000s, Dory and Summer.
That's right. Yeah, you did. I don't remember if it made it on mic, but that is fascinating. That's very cool. He's a
transplant doctor, and his wife Summer is a PhD in like math and statistics, and they together
perfect combo. Yeah.
There's a beautiful short documentary on YouTube about them that is, if you like being inspired by like the giant changes that like small nerdy people can make, is a really good watch.
I'll link to that
in
our show notes, because that sounds really cool.
Yeah, The Right Match, a short documentary from 11 years ago, but it's about how it says they're a husband-wife team leading fascinating lives, including swing dancing, music, and water skiing, and their work is helping thousands of transplant candidates find the matching organs that they need. Dory is a transplant surgeon at Johns Hopkins, and Summer is a math professor at the U.S. Naval Academy.
Cool.
Yeah, they were profiled in Time Magazine, Baltimore Sun. Yeah, let's link to that in the show notes, because it's just like such a feel-good story, and like I knew them for years, and they're just really cool, sweet people. So.
And if you're somebody who is like of good health and looking for a way to like make real impact in the world, you don't have to know somebody who needs. It doesn't have to be a donation to someone you know personally. You can like, be part of one of those chains and maybe kick one off that could save a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, my friend Amanda's still around because of that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. So. Anyway, side tangents today include Dolly Parton, Olympia Dukakis' theater program in Montclair, and kidney donation.
That's right. It's important stuff, though. All of the above.
It is. There's also a link. I haven't even watched this yet, but there's a Dolly Parton did the halftime show at the local university when they were filming this, and there's a very grainy YouTube video of it that I really want to watch. 1988.
Have I said enough that I love her?
She's the best. So other than that, basically, there were some sort of remakes, other versions of this later on. There was a TV series that they attempted to make. They did a pilot, CBS did in 1990, never made it to series because and that kind of died. But then in 2012, Lifetime did an all-black cast version of this movie that apparently was the channel's third most watched telecast ever.
Huh. Queen Latifah's
Queen
in
Latifah,
it.
Jersey Connection.
Yeah, there we go.
Queen Latifah as Malin. I kind of want to watch this. I don't think I even knew this was a thing.
I read one bad review that I won't share here because it seemed pretty misguided. I have no idea how good the movie actually is. But if it's
Queen
a Lifetime,
Latifah's in it.
Yeah, and if it's a Lifetime movie, either it's good and it's good, or it's bad and it's good. Is how I feel.
Exactly. Felicia Rashad is in it. Yeah, I think I might add that to my list.
Pretty cool cast. So.
Yeah. I'm going to add that to my list. The Sticky, is that the one that you just told me about?
The Sticky and
the 2012 Lifetime Steel Magnolias. Amazing. I mean, I think for me, the main takeaway of this movie is that like ensemble movies and TV with big casts of women, when you cast the right people and when you let older women get together and shine. I mean, this is our Yellowjackets tie-in, not just Sammy Hanratty's beautiful rendition of Millen's speech, but getting a collection of, and older is rough to say around the women in Yellowjackets because they're all younger than I am for the most part. But a group of actors, veteran, that also sounds bad though. Established, maybe?
Seasoned.
Yeah, established is the word we use in the art world for old. Established female actors together that you get really amazing chemistry and knowledge and wisdom and experience. So more of that. I feel like this movie, and I could be talking out of my ass, but I feel like for me growing up, this movie was the first time I saw this, where it was like, oh, this is something that I can aspire to. It's not just the Julia Roberts getting married and finding a handsome husband and living happily ever after, but it could be that you could grow old with a group of women who support each other and show up for each other and are funny and pick each other apart and laugh and like have a good time. And like, honestly, I think that we talked about this with Harold and Maude, but one of the things that makes me feel like I'm on the right track in life finally is that I feel like I have a couple of these groups of women in my life now.
That's so nice.
And it's really like special to relate to that connection amongst them versus wanting to be the Julia Roberts character. I don't want to be the Julia Roberts character anymore. No. I don't want to marry Dylan McDermott, a blank slate of a man with a really forgettable face that I confuse with other actors all the time. No offense to Dylan McDermott,
but I think he's probably aware of that.
Yeah. Shout out to all the perimenopausal and menopausal women out there.
That's right.
Just, I see you. You're doing all right. It is hot in here. Get those cooling sheets and find that lady on TikTok that started the We Do Not Care Club. I think that might be it for Steel Magnolias. A few digressions, but you know what? I'm glad we watched it. It was such a lovely trip back in time for me in a way that was like, so often these movies have been like, we have to qualify them when we talk about why we still like them. And this had one major qualification, which is the race problem.
Right.
But it also had a lot more to love even than I remembered.
Yeah, me too. I think I feel the same way. It's nice.
Yeah. Another question that our listeners could share with us is like, if you have a favorite ensemble movie of established female actors.
That's right.
Is there a Steel Magnolias-esque movie that you're a fan of?
Let us know.
So we should talk about what we're doing next.
That's right.
I feel like the vibe is good right now from this, and I think we're going to kind of stay in that vibe.
I love this time period of movies. I know part of that is because, of course, you love the movies you watched when you were a young person.
Yeah.
But I just think like these are movies that feel like movies to me. Do you know what I mean?
I'm so excited. We're doing Moonstruck. We don't need to dance around it. Another Olympia Dukakis role for our Montclair theater queen. I know that that's not the headline, but I'm excited. I mean, there's a number of Cher movies on this list as well. And I think
that's another Dolly to Cher shift makes sense too here.
Yeah. This is going to be fun. I'm excited. But this was one of my mother's favorite movies also.
It's great. It's a great one.
Because she thought that Olympia Dukakis was her friend. It's going to be a good time. If you have a favorite, I keep like giving prompts to people, but if you have a favorite like 90s movie in this vibe or late 80s, let us know. I would be curious.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about this one for sure, though.
Yeah. So in the meantime, where can they find us?
We're at WatchersPodNJ on Instagram, WatchersPodNJ@gmail.com. You can always leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and share really any old thoughts that you have. For example, this lovely review we got from Charlotte Light and Dark this week. Said, "Dear Andrea and Jodie."
Charlotte Light and Dark. You remember where that's from?
No.
That's the name of the book in 6 Feet Under that that is about Brenda and Billy, written by her mom.
What do you mean? Okay, hold on. That rules, but why would you say you remember what that's from?
I don't know. We watched the pilot together, and we talked about Brenda. It is in the pilot.
Oh, I don't remember that.
She's Charlotte Light and Dark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's from Charlotte Light and Dark. That makes so much sense. The title is "Okay, but Hear Me Out" from Charlotte Light and Dark. Dear Andrea and Jodie, I know that y'all are very busy molding young minds and creating amazing art, but like, what if you also did a 6 Feet Under podcast? I think you would bring such incredible insight to the show. Thanks.
You're speaking my language.
I was going to say, Jodie, are you Charlotte Light and Dark?
Yeah, that's the secret.
I
have seen 6 Feet Under at this point, start to finish, at least 3 times now. I would be so on board for that, with the caveat that it is a lot of episodes. It's like 5 or 6 seasons, I think 6, and it is not in the time period where seasons were 9 or 10 episodes.
How many 5-star Apple Podcast reviews do we need to get for you to agree to adding a second release every week that is us recapping 6 Feet Under?
I've got to be able to quit my day job. There's no other way. But
yeah, thank you. That's exactly the kind of stuff I'm looking for. I love when people communicate with us through Apple Podcast reviews. So thank you, Charlotte Light and Dark.
Perfect salvo. But yeah, so that's going to do it, I guess. I'm going to go eat lunch, and Andrea's going to go do some other work. And we will see you. Where are we going to see them next week?
I think in Brooklyn.
It's Brooklyn.
We'll see you in Brooklyn Heights.
Hell yeah.